Hello and good evening, everybody. Welcome to my channel. It's Ruth here at Artful Stampin. Oh, made it to the end of the week, guys. Okay, so yes, Monday. Obviously, I missed you guys because I was on my way back. I was probably on an aeroplane actually when I was supposed to do Masculine Monday, so I missed you then, and then made it back very briefly to do something on Tuesday. Can't remember what I did now. Was that the first? Yes, it was the first. Anyway, hello, good evening, everyone. Great to see you all. Nice to see some folks in already in the chat, chatting away. Glenna's here. She said, I'm here. Great. Lovely to see you, Glenna. Jodie. Jodie's had an accident with her cherry cobbler. Okay. Oh dear. Hope that, wasn't too, I don't know, looked like you'd murdered something or somebody. Bleach didn't get it off. No. The trick is, Jodie, wash your hair. Yeah. In the UK, we say use a bit of Head and Shoulders and wash your hair. Yeah, because the exfoliating nature of washing one's hair will get it off. And it doesn't make your hair red, I don't think. Hi, Cindy. Hi, Wendy. Lovely to see you all. Right. Oh, more of you. Hi, Shaz, Sue, Caroline, Tina. Hello, Sandy from Tampa, Florida. Great to see you all. Right, so I have just grabbed out some cards that I was showing you last night from the swaps that I got, and it reminded me of, I think there was a card sketch that we did in the Christmas Stampathon a couple of years ago. Might even been 3, but no, probably 2. And it's such a great little sketch that I found some cards that I would say either completely kind of fit the sketch, but also are variations of. And I may have covered it before, but I thought it would be nice to look at it again, but look at the variations on a theme that you can create with this kind of layout. Sorry, I'm trying to find words. My brain is still not quite here. Hello, Stampin' Hands. Lovely to see you. Hi, Caroline. Hi, Nessa. Hi, Karen. Lovely to see you. Okay, so let's get down and look at the desk here. And I just want to show you what I mean. So this is the main one that I'm looking at. This idea of having 3 items. Now, I've just remembered actually the other day I made some cards, didn't I? But I cut them at a bit of an angle. But again, it's kind of the power of 3 type thing. So 3 columns with a sentiment. So then I picked out another card. So this is turning it the landscape, and again 3 columns and a sentiment. Then I noticed this card. This card has 3 columns and a sentiment. Okay, this middle column is slightly wider, but it is still 3 columns and, a focal point. Well, a focal point and a sentiment. But there we go. Then this one here, this is a sort of a fancy fold, but all you have to do to make it is to cut that upwards on a 10th fold, stick those down, and you've got just this interesting little opening. So, but that again is 3 columns and a sentiment. Then I found this one, which when you turn it this way, this is 3 columns and a sentiment. This time you've got this one being the narrower, so it sort of goes up in size really. Got 1, 2, 3 getting larger. So I hope you don't mind me kind of, I'm not cheating, I'm just trying to show you that you can use this very sort of basic idea, the idea of 3 columns plus a focal point or a sentiment, and you end up with, here I've got 5 different cards that look quite different, and then we're going to make some. All right, I'm not just going to show you what other people have done. I'm going to start making things myself. So here I have a stamped one sheet wonder that I stamped quite a while back. This was when In Symmetry was still with us. Sadly, it's retired now, but it's got the lovely paper that I stamped, and thought it would be nice perhaps to make some cards using this. So I also want to grab some designer series paper. So bear with while I grab that. I'm just grabbing my current box of papers. Okay, right. and I was going to have a look to see what I've got in here that would match. So look, oh, a bit of a folded up bit there. I've obviously squished that in and not really paid attention to what I was doing. So when you see something you like, just give us a shout. I'll take some retired things out while I'm here, actually. Ooh. Okay. Hello, those of you who are new to my channel. Just so you know, when you hear me go, oh, that means I think I might like that. That's my sound of approval. Yes. So hello and welcome. If you've never been to my channel before, oh yay! I found something I've been looking for ages. Oh, thank you, Lord. Oh my goodness, I have been looking for this die set for about a month, and I'd kind of got to the point where I was thinking, am I going to have to order another one? And I've just found it. It was in my box. Oh look, and there's a card. I need to put this on eBay. Oh wow. Okay, I'm happy. You know what? I can go now, everybody. Oh, it was. I knew I had it because I used it to make this card. This was a Stampathon card from the other month. Oh, goodness me. Right, so for those of you who know me, and I know it's Wendy on here. I messaged Wendy the other week saying, Wendy, did I lend you those dies? And she went, nope. No, not me. Oh, right, okay. Oh, that's put a little song in my heart, that has. Little cheer to my day. See, yeah, Wendy understands. Because I messaged her. Oh, right, there we go. Right, let's see, what else have I got in here? Oh, yes, so I took part in Wendy's DSP, what's it, a jig? Paper share, and I'm so glad I did. So if you ever like DSP and you fancy seeing what, or having a little bit of everything, I do recommend you take part in a paper share. And if you've got your demonstrator does it, then I do recommend you do it. So if you don't know a demonstrator who does it, then can I recommend the lovely Wendy Wu? She does it every catalogue, pretty much. And so I don't know if she'll do it again for this recent catalogue, but next time the new catalogue comes out, do get in contact with her. Oh, a nice bit of, yeah, see, look, I could use that. I like that. That goes, doesn't it? That bit of blue? Oh, not sure. That's the wrong kind of blue. Oh, nice bit of yellow. A bit of that. So basically, I'm just going through to see if I can find anything that would look good. Oh, I do like a stripe. You know me. I like a bit of a stripe. Right, like those. Okay. What else have I got in here? I want something with that lovely bright pink. I wonder if there's any in here. Nope. Lots of these papers have got more coral. They haven't really gone towards the bright pinks this time in many of the papers. No. Oh well, that's all right. I think I've got plenty to play with, so I'm not going to worry too much. Oh, there's a bit of pink in this one. Let's just have a look. Sorry, bear with. Right, so welcome guys. It's Friday evening. I do not rush on Friday evenings, so if you're expecting me to make a card within 5 minutes, it's not going to happen, just saying. Because Friday night is kind of chill time, and we just take our time, but it's very much kind of back to basic kind of card making skills. So please don't go if you are an experienced crafter. I have heard people say, you know, that even though I aim Friday nights at kind of beginner stampers, they pick up tips along the way, you know. We haven't all heard everything that there is to know out there. What am I sitting on? Oh, a towel. Oh dear, right, okay. I'm getting there, guys, I'm getting there. I'm just freeing up my trimmer because I know I definitely want that. Right, let's have a look. So, I want to be able to get a few cards out of this, but because this is so pretty, I probably don't need a whole lot of this. So the cards in the UK, usually our card bases are 10.5 by just over 14.5 centimetres, which is approximately 4 inches by 5 3/4 inches. But after doing swaps with lots of lovely Americans, it's just been reminded me how you guys tend to do 5.5 by 4 1/4 cards, which compared to us, I'll just show you the comparison. Okay, yours are a little bit wider and ours are a little bit longer. Okay, so yours are sort of slightly more squared than our cards. So I'm going to try and use measurements that kind of make it easy for everybody. So I'm going to start off with, now what's this one? Well, that one is like a, oh, that's, I'm trying to think, is that no, that must be an American. Right, okay. So yeah, see, our cardstock is not that wide. Our cardstock is that wide. 10.5. Okay. So sorry, I'm just doing some maths. Bear with. Hello everybody. You did do the mini catalogue. Okay. Hi Australia. Who's just popped in? I can't see your name there. Hi Monica. Hi Annika. Oh, hi Ali Monami. Lovely to see you. Hi Roberta. Oh, lovely to see you, Ruby. Oh, fab. Ruth, Subtitles doesn't like your accent. When you said we don't know everything, Subtitles wrote, do you know her? What does it say when I say bonjour? Right, I'll have a little drink and make sure my diction is up to standard. Sorry. What does it do when I laugh? Does it say she laughed? Okay, right, sorry, 3, 6. So if I just do 3 centimetre increments, shall we see what happens if I do that? So that's approximately 3 centimetres is about 1 3/8 of an inch. But I don't want to make this so complicated with about the numbers. The whole point is that you have 3 sections. All right. So let's just do that for now. So actually, if I do 3.5, you see 3.5 plus 7 plus 3.5 is 10.5. So you know what? I'm going to do that to start off with and then go from there. So I'm going to cut 3 strips of 3.5. So Friday night is simple techniques with outstanding results. I've just made that up on the spot. Do you like it? Simple techniques with outstanding results. Because I'm one of those people that believes that just because you're a beginner crafter or a beginner stamper, I don't think anyone should have to make a card and not like it. So therefore, if you want to be able to make cards and like the results, you need to follow some basic rules with some simple but effective techniques, and I believe that you will end up with good results. So the idea of showing you this technique is that you can do this with, you know, any paper that you have, and ideally if you start with a very patterned, colourful piece of paper, what you then do is match it with colours that are similar. Okay, right? What are you doing in here? My daughter's come to say hello. Huh? You're going to bed? All right, okay. May's come to say hello, everybody.
Hello, everybody.
Well, I'm showing people how to make you know, easy cards using a 3-column formula.
Ooh,
so
nice.
I've just been saying that as long as you choose papers that kind of match each other, it will always work out well. So I'm cutting this paper to 3.5 centimeters. I'm just going to cut a couple of those because I've gone and creased this paper somehow, but I'm just going to cut the creasy bit off. That'll be okay. So I actually need 1 strip of this because, oh no, maybe I will do more. So I have mentioned that I am going away to a ladies' conference in actually it's in a week and a bit's time. It's sneaking up on me, and they like me to have a little stall there. So I want to make sure I've got lots of cards to go on the stall. And I've already said to May that she's going to have to help me.
Mum's paying me.
Yeah, apparently
£20 an hour.
£20 an hour? I don't even get paid. No, I didn't say 20. Days, extortion.
I have no income.
You have no income, but you're fed and watered.
Yeah, but I don't have money.
And, you know, all the rest of it.
Need the money.
You need the money. Oh, okay. Ruth, you have my hubby Dwight laughing with your comments. Ah.
Hello, everybody.
Yeah, the subtitles can be quite hilarious sometimes, can't they, Barb? Barb loves my subtitles. My closed captions. Right, there. Do that. So I've got a couple of those. Oh, I like the yellow as well. Oh, and I like the lilac, didn't I? So who has got piles of designer series paper or scrapbooking paper that they just don't know what quite to do with? This is quite a good... Oh, sorry about this. Right, stay. Who needs to do some stash busting?
Me.
You've got some pretty papers, haven't you? I'm sure
I can't find them.
They'll be in one of your drawers in your bedroom.
No.
Yes, there will be. May does have some.
I looked today.
You looked today?
Yeah.
Well, you couldn't find any.
Oh, origami paper.
Oh yes, you've got
It's not
origami.
nice origami paper.
Well, this is a really good technique to use up bits of paper you don't actually like too much because you're only using little bits of it. Now, I can cut that there. I quite like this. Right, I'm just going to cut a couple of these and then we're going to do some sticking. And we'll cut some, I think we'll cut some card bases if I haven't got the right colour. Right, okay, so let's get rid of anything that I don't need. That's on my desk.
Pretty.
What, this? Oh.
And that one's pretty good one.
Oh, you like that one, do you?
And I like that one.
I've just ordered the stamp set and the dies. Oh, you like those, do you?
These ones.
And
that one.
Okay.
Oh, they're just so pretty.
That's good to know, isn't it, for your birthday? When it's your birthday, I'll have to make you a card with those then.
Oh, yeah.
Right, so these are the bits I need. That's the bits I need. I don't need that. Don't need that. Don't need that for a minute. Right, just going to pop those over here. Tidy my desk. Right, there we go. So we've got these nice little strips of paper here now. And just going to grab out my box of card bases. So this is my tip also, that when you buy a pack of cardstock, so if you're a beginner kind of crafter, paper crafter, did you know that Stampin' Up sell their cardstock in not only just big packs of 24 of one colour, which unless you absolutely love that colour, you may not want 24 of the one colour. They do them in packs of colour families. So you get 2 each of 10 colours. So that's a really great way to kind of build up your stash and have a few of everything. So what set did I order? The set that goes with that paper, I can't remember the name of it. If anyone knows, let me know, please. It's kind of like an eclectic kind of stamp set. It's got like all the different seasons in it, Claire. Shaz has got loads of paper. Everyone's got loads of paper. Oh. Excuse me. Right, so let's grab out. Let's see what colours we've got in here, you see. Got a bit oh dear. Excuse me. I did swallow water. That was my problem. Oh dear. Right. Night night. Bye.
Night. Everyone's gonna say goodnight after I've gone, so good night.
Well, you can watch it on YouTube. Right. Let's find. Oh, I've got a bit of pool party there. Got any pool party? Yep, bit of pool party. Bit of yellow. Couple of yellows. Right. Right, let's get the creating going. So this is a good way to batch make a few cards. So I've got a little bit of a, something's happened to this bit of card, but oh, a sticky dot has fallen in there. Okay, well that's fine because this is going to be covered up, so that's all right. That's all right. All right, let's get a nice glue on the go. Let's have a look at our pretty papers. So I know I can definitely make 3 cards with the pretty kind of, oh, what did I cut that to? Haha, okay, so that's a little bit shorter. It's all right though. Okay, so the reason I will not put the yellow next to there is because that flower there then seems to get lost right next to that yellow there. So I'm just testing it out next to here, and the same is happening there. So I'm going to choose to put it next to this piece because there's a little bit of yellow here, but there's nothing on this side. So therefore it's creating a bit of a contrast. All right, so this is why I'm going to talk through my decision making so that you understand kind of where I'm heading with that. So also the same with this blue, because there's no real blue on this side of the paper. There's a little bit here, but there's nothing here. So this just makes this really nice and contrasted against these 2 colours there. So I'm going to keep that as that. Right, let's have a look at this one now. Now this has got high amount of yellow in it. So this green is great next to that. There's a tiny bit of green there, but it's a lighter green, so it works out fine. And oh, now actually, what about that? Got a bit of high contrast going on there. But that is super fun. And that's putting the detail at the sides. Now I'd be interested to do a sentiment, but you know sometimes you get those long sentiments and you can cut them up into bits. I might be tempted to put some words just down the middle like that. Right, I'm going to keep that as it is. That turned out quite interesting. Okay, so this has got quite a bit of pink going on here. So let's see if we can. Now, yes, I have got that yellow flower there, but that's in crushed curry. So I'm putting the crushed curry section up there and the lighter yellow down here and a little bit of green there. And let's see if we can pop a lilac. Yeah, so I've only got a tiny bit of lilac there, but that's okay because we've still got that high contrast then with the rest of everything else. All right, let's just work on these 3 for now. And then get going from there. So let's see, any questions? Hi Ruth. Oh, hi Paula. You're heading to Alaska. Oh, how exciting. You're too excited to sleep. I bet you are. Oh well, you'll sleep well tomorrow. How are you getting to Alaska, Paula? Is it going to be a long flight, or have you got layovers, or? You've put me on your big screen in the living room. Hi, Frankie. Hi, Vicky. Alaska, then Canada. Oh, how exciting. Who else has got questions? Oh, Glenna, thank you so much for my presents here. I don't know if you were on the live the other day when I said thank you. And I wasn't quick enough to think, oh, I could give Genevieve something to send back to you. I'm really sorry. I'll just have to send you something in the post. Flying from Heathrow via Frankfurt. Oh, how bizarre. So you're going right to go left. That's what happens these days, isn't it? Right, I will trim this down in a minute, I promise. There we go. Hi, Kay. Hi, Nydia. No, we're just hanging out, just having a bit of fun. So I'm using a kind of a bit of a card template that is a really good repeatable one. So if you're new to crafting, it's a really good technique, and you can use all kinds of paper, your own stamped paper, because I've come to recognise that although I'm known for doing very intricate stamping, it can be a little bit intimidating and daunting if you've never done it before. And so I want to try and do some more videos that are more accessible for folks who are just starting out and just need some tips and tricks and techniques, but also for those of you who are more mature stampers, ways in which you can, or more mature not as in age, but you've been stamping a long time and you've got some one sheet wonders, you've got some intricate stamping that you'd like to use. Perhaps you don't want to use a whole sheet, you know, you just want to use parts of it. So I'm trying to kind of fulfill everybody's needs, and also for me to have a good time at the same time, because I'm one of those people that I'm not into making cards just for the sake of it, and I can't get behind a product I don't believe in. I also can't get behind a card that I don't like. So I do try and make cards that I would enjoy receiving. So I just, yeah, I would just want to show you the skills to make beautiful cards in, you know, an easy, simple way. Right, I'm just cutting this down because I obviously got my measurements wrong. Oh no, I didn't get them wrong. I just, my card bases were a little bit long. Okay, let's stick this one down. Hi, Donnie. Yes, I had an amazing time. Thank you. Ah, thanks, Glenna. Right, sorry, I've just gone quiet. I'm just concentrating. Sticking that piece of paper down. Now that one's got a slight bit of overhang. I'm not sure why. Anyway. I had a wonderful time at New Orleans. Thank you, Donnie. Yes, I every so often I just keep remembering little things that happen and it gives me a smile inside. Yep. Right, let's have a look at some sentiments then that we can put on these. Excuse me a second while I look on my shelf. Anyone's got any suggestions? Right, I've just grabbed a few. I quite like the idea, like I said, of stamping something and then splitting it up and pop it down there. See, that's quite nice. That, I think that just there in the corner would just be nice with that one. I don't feel like you need lots and lots. I've just noticed on my desk I've got some blocks that I haven't washed since the other day. Oops. I quite like that. Right, now this one I thought I could chop it up. So let's have a think. I could get some scrap, even some scrap yellow. What's that? Bit of Night of Navy. So not quite black, but dark enough to be seen. Just tap, 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 tap. So again, for those of you who are just new to stamping, just tap your stamps onto the ink pad. You do not need to press down really hard. And a way to check that you've inked it correctly is to have a look at the stamp before you put it onto the paper, and just check that you haven't got lots and lots of ink all around the rubber block, the rubber stamp there. So 2 hands, okay? If you've got 2 hands to use 2 hands. Hold the block in one hand, put the block down and put pressure with your finger or 2 fingers of your other hand, but do not let go of the block. All right, keep hold of the block and then remove the pressure and then lift straight off. All right, no rocking and rolling. We don't need that. We don't need Elvis in the building. We just need to stamp straight down and straight up. All right, so tap, 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 straight down, bit of pressure, no Elvis, and there we go. All right, so sending caring thoughts, beautiful. I like that. That makes a good card for a ladies' conference, I think. Now this one, I think we could also put that one. Oh, but put it the right way round, of course. Just check this card opens correctly. And up. There we go. Right, that's done. So this one, I was going to chop it up. I've been making I miss you cards. Ah, thank you. That's a nice suggestion. I miss you. One day I will come to one of our Stampin' conferences and I'll have to find you. Oh, that would be lovely, Stampin' Hands. Yes, please. I am not going to be going to Vienna. I know a few of you have been asking. So the next on stage live is actually going to be in Europe. So for those of you who don't know, when you become a Stampin' Up demonstrator, you have the opportunity of going to their corporate events, and their corporate events that are available for everybody to go to, as in every demonstrator, they call on stage. And because we are in 3 regions in the world, we're in the US, we are in US and Canada, and then we're in Europe, and then South Pacific. So the corporate events are held twice a year. You know what, I'm going to do a diagram because I think it makes more sense. So we've got, I don't know, we'll do a big blob for over there for Canada and US, and then we've got us, and then a bit of Europe there, and then we've got South Pacific and is it New Zealand down there. So because we have conferences twice a year, what they were trying to do is rotate the live events, because the live events are over the course of 2 or 3 days. So this November it will be in Vienna, and then the next event will be either here or here. So they'll do the 3-day event, or 2/3-day event in Vienna in November this year, 2022, and then in various locations in Australia, New Zealand, and also throughout United States and Canada, they'll have 1-day events where what they'll do is broadcast some of the content that's happening at Vienna to the 1-day events that are happening the same weekend as Vienna. So then another time, for example, it might be in the United States, or On Stage Live might be in Canada, then the 3-day event will be there, and then we'll have events going on. We'll have one in the UK, and then one in France, and then one in Germany, one in perhaps Austria, and so on. So there'll be day events all over the place. So that's how it works. Now, the event that I've just been to, sorry if I've just made that more complicated than what it is, but sometimes it's hard to explain with words, not visually. The event I've just been to is a new event that Stampin' Up created basically 3-ish years ago, and the idea was to create an event that was for certain levels within Stampin' Up and above. And so that event was called Backstage, and so you had to be a Silver Elite or above to go to that. And 2 years ago it was planned to have that in New Orleans, but of course, you know what happened, and it got cancelled. But I presume they kept the booking with the hotel, and so that's why it was in New Orleans again. Not again, for the first time, but postponed from 2020. I thank God every time I think of you. That's nice, isn't it? There we go. I quite like that. Elvis lives next door, but one to me. Does he now? Oh. Is he an Elvis impersonator? I think there are quite a few in Wales. What's his surname? Do you know his surname, Vanessa? Because I have a friend whose brother is an Elvis impersonator. I wonder if it's the same person. Hi, Carla. Right, I'm going to use my thing. Oh, there we go. Right, get the glue at the ready. So when you use this glue, I find it easier if you can squeeze it a little bit so you can see the little white dot of glue, you see, before then you know that it's going to be there ready. So I'm going to actually hold it with that, and I'm going to put a little tiny amount there, Actually, I think that's probably a little bit too much, so I'm actually going to just grab a bit of glue off there. And, oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. There we go. Stick that there instead. Just want a little bit of glue. There we go. And then I'll pop that on there. Right, take that there. Tiny bit of glue, just a little weeny bit. This would make a nice card to send somebody, wouldn't it? And this is a kind of a shorthand version of a verse in the Bible, actually. Isn't it in one of the letters that Paul wrote? He says, I thank God upon every remembrance of you. Is it Ephesians? Someone will have to let me know. I can't remember. There we go. Right, there we go. So how long did that take me? How long have I been live for? 40 minutes. So that's because I've been chatting, to be fair. I have been wittering a bit. Sometimes I do videos where I just kind of crack on and get on with it, but Friday nights is chill out night, okay? So there we go. We've made 3 cards. But we have got lots of paper ready and cut to go and make some extras. So look at that, I accidentally cut that in a row with the teapots. So I'm wondering whether to do a card with those. I'm going to flip these over. Oh, I like a bit of a stripe. Let's try that. And then do I go for another green? I thought that was one of my hairs that had fallen. No, it's my drawing from earlier. Now to step this up a little bit more, so we talk about stepping something up in Stampin' Up world when you go and use a kind of a basic technique, but then you add some extra bits to it. So a way to step this up would perhaps be to add some ribbon or a little, a little bit of a little strip of gold, or also cut something pretty using a die set or something, or by sticking maybe that central piece onto a panel and have it raised above. Actually, I might just try that. Let me see if I can find some Daffodil Delight cardstock. I quite like the contrast there. It's not quite big enough, but actually, if I cut that teapot off there, that will just make an interesting focal point, won't it? So we're still keeping with that kind of idea of 3s, but kind of subverting it a little bit. So this is something that I do recommend you try doing when you're beginning stamping, because start with an initial project or style or template that you like the look of, that's really easy to replicate. And then once you've had a go doing it a couple of times, or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever times you want to do it, is then start subverting it a little bit. Have a little think about ways in which to make it yours. So I've just cut that card base to 14.5 centimetres. I'm going to cut this to 14. Like that. So I know that that's going to just sit really nicely with a bit of a border, like so. Then I want to cut this piece of paper down so that I get just there in between the 2 teapot handles, and I'm going to see if I can cut that 11, so 11.5 centimetres. And let me just double check, this should measure 3.5. So if I cut this down to 4, I don't actually know what width this is, but I'm hoping it's going to be somewhat near what I need. Yes, it is. That's good. So I just need to cut this down to 12, so I'll end up with a nice wee border all the way around. Right, so let's see what that looks like, all stuck together. And I just grabbed this piece of blue, but I haven't actually experimented to see if a different blue would look nicer. Let's see if a Pacific Point might look better. What do you guys think? The Pacific or the Balmy? And I'm also wondering about putting the stripe there, so it looks more like a tablecloth. So, up there. What do you think, guys? Pacific or Balmy? Hi, Marilyn. Pop out the middle row with dimensionals. Yes, I was thinking of doing that. Good night, Inika. Rest well. Hi, Georgiana. Pacific. Okay, let's do Pacific then. Just need to trim this one down because I was thinking, why don't they look right anymore? It's because I hadn't trimmed this one down. Okay, so let's put a nice bit of glue across here. Put my stripe on. So this sort of card style is so easily repeatable. You know, you can cut a whole load of strips out in one go. And they don't necessarily, each card doesn't necessarily have to be the same, as you can see. You can mix and match, but they all kind of follow a basic kind of strategy. And it just takes the kind of stress out of card making, I think. Right, where's my little... I've lost my teapots now. Did I flick it on the floor? Yes, I did. I thought I felt something go. This is very primary colours, isn't it? Sort of yellow, blue, green and red. But you know what? It's nice and fun, isn't it? Wondering whether to put a little bit of ribbon. I don't know. Don't know if I need it. Gee, sometimes it's nice to pop a little bit of ribbon poking out the bottom. It's wanting to do its own thing though. Although that is a bit of a crushed curry colour. It's not quite bright yellow. So it does look a little bit odd. Oh, excuse me. Gold instead of yellow. Ooh, that's an idea. Actually, I've just looked on the floor and seen this. No, I think I prefer the yellow. Yes, no, gold is a lovely idea. I was just about to say, I don't want to cut into my big piece of 12 by 12, but I've just found this little slither. Oh yes, that looks very luxurious. Right, we'll go with that. Right, let's try and get this done. A little bit more speedier. 4 by 12, if my memory serves me correctly. There we go. Let's pop that onto there. Now we're going to use dimensionals, weren't we, for this next bit? And because I'm going to use dimensionals, I'm wondering whether just to stick that onto the card to make it a little bit more sturdy, because the gold paper really is paper, it's not card. So I'm just going to, seeing as I've cut it already, I'm just going to use that as a little bit of sturdiness behind there. Right, lovely. Let's find the dimensionals. Right, here they are. Hi Janice. Hi Cheryl. Maize and blue, University of Michigan colours in football. Oh, also the colours of the Ukraine as well, Ukraine flag, which we still need to be remembering in our prayers. It's ongoing still over there. So if you enjoy my channel and you'd like to see what else I'm up to, please do subscribe. I know that there's probably only 30% of you watching that subscribe, so subscribing doesn't mean that you're beholden to me or that you have to do anything special. It just means that it makes it so much easier for you to find my videos once you're subscribed. And if you would like actually a notification of when I go live, if you press on the bell, that means that your device, that any devices that you have YouTube and you've given them permission to notify you, you'll get either a little ping or you'll get a little pop-up notice that I've gone live. So it's well worth doing, if you like me, that is. Okay, so I've just noticed this lovely sort of lemon design. It was on the back of this lilac paper and I just quite like the look of it, so I'm wondering whether to team that up. That's so cute. Oh, I love it. Oh, isn't that nice? Oh, I really like that. Now, the other thing you can do is stick it all down. So I'm just going to grab a scrap piece of card. So that this piece of card is Just Jade, and it retired a few last year. So I'm not too worried about just covering it over. And I'm going to stick these panels on and then also show you another step-up technique, which is embossing on top of your card or paper before you stick it down. So I'm going to get out a embossing folder and do that in a second. These lemons and lemon slices, they're all the rage at the moment. After noticing that they were in the Stampin' Up catalogue this year, I went shopping with my daughter to a very well-known clothes shop that sell very cheap clothing, starting with P. And I don't want to give them any more advertising, to be quite honest. And there were outfits with this kind of design on. So I was like, oh, Stampin' Up is so on trend. Very on trend. Okay, so that will fit nicely on there. I just want to trim this down a little bit. And then I'm going to pop it through an embossing folder. So for those of you who don't know what embossing folders are, they are basically bits of plastic that is moulded, and it's moulded. So I'm just having a think. Right, moulded in such a way that when you put the paper or card in the middle of it and squish it down, it makes an impression onto the paper or card, which is very exciting. There we go, quite like that. And the other thing that you can do with an embossing folder is actually apply ink to it. So, just need to remember where I've put my embossing folders. Oh, bear with. I tidied up. Not a good idea. Oh, there they are. So let's have a quick look and see which one I like the look of. I want to do something that's not too overpowering. This lovely wooden sort of timber, it's called, this one. It's really nice. So generally what you do is you open the embossing folder with the Stampin' Up logo showing, and you open it up and then you pop your card. Now with these larger ones, these are sort of roughly about 6 by 6 inches, you've got a choice as to how you align it. So in a design like this where it's kind of going in a certain direction, it's up to you, because you could have it that way or you could have it that way. Now some of the folders, like this one, has got words in it, so therefore there's kind of a right way and a wrong way, whereas some of the more generic designs like this one, there's no right or wrong way. You do it however you want to do it. Then there is a kind of an indent and an, I don't know how you describe it really. There's a kind of an up and a down really, and as I said earlier, to make the impression a little bit more stronger, you can apply a little bit of ink. So I'm going to grab crumb cake ink here, and I'm going to apply a bit of ink just to the top of here, and I'm just going to dab like that. So Janice says she hasn't been stamping today, but she has got ink on her hands. Why was that? Someone's asking me, have I done the cards with the narrow strips of DSP? Do you mean the one that looks like parquet flooring? Yes, I have. I've got a couple of videos of those. Yep. And the other day, I ended up giving them away. I think I've given both or 3 of them away. I made some really fun cards where I cut strips of black and strips of the glimmer paper and made my own kind of very fancy ribbon. So that was really fun to do, and I'd like to have another go at doing that at some point. Okay, so I've just popped a little bit of ink on there. I'm going to bring over my Big Mama. This is the cut and emboss machine by Stampin' Up. And then I need my number 1 plate, which is this one here. Then the embossing folder with the paper and card in it. And then my speciality plate, which is plate number 4. And just pop that on. And then basically you just push it until it kind of, you see the handle wiggle. This is the handle. And then all you do is you hold on with either your left or right hand. So you use the handle in your dominant hand, and then you hold on with your non-dominant hand. So this is great if you're left-handed or right-handed. If you're left-handed, you just swivel the machine around and have the handle on the other side. Which I think is fantastic, because sometimes you come across tools and you know, they're designed for right-handers all the time. But this sort of tool, you know, is fine. Right, isn't that gorgeous? Look at that. It just adds an extra dimension over the top of the design. And the second benefit of doing this is that it squishes everything down, so it's all really nice and tight, tightly stuck down. Right, I'll just pop these bits and pieces away. A sec. Right, I like that. Now I'm looking at this thinking I'm going to do a little extra step up. Hi Janine, you didn't get the notification. Oh no. Oh, that's a good tip, Vicky. Says you can spray a little water for a deeper impression too. Yes. Thank you, Glenna. Yes, it's the timber embossing folder. So just again for a little bit extra. Now this doesn't cost you this is not expensive to do this. Once you've got your ink pad, you've got your ink pad, haven't you? So by applying ink, it's such a simple, inexpensive way to add detail to your cards. So you can just run your ink pad down over your card like so, and you can end up with it looking a little bit more kind of vintage. And I'm going to do the same to the edge of this card too. You can tell where I didn't put the glue right to the end there. It's okay though. I don't think anyone's going to pick your card apart unless you give it to a toddler. What toddlers are like. Right, I'm going to have to get a new ink pad, guys, because I somehow have put something on here that has just damaged this ink pad. I don't know quite what, because that is actually disintegrating. Look at that. And if anyone's got any answers for me, what that I could have done. I do know that, you see, now, please don't see this as an indictment against Stampin' Up. What's probably happened is I've applied it to something with the wrong kind of chemical and it's had a reaction, because this is not the normal thing. I can assure you this is not a normal thing to happen to ink pads, but I'm showing it to you because I'm upfront and honest. Some of our ink pads do react a little bit because of the red ink, and it's where the pigment has separated, but this is not that. This is something else. This is disintegration, and so it could be that I've gone and swiped it when doing some mixed media or something like that, and I've ended up mixing some other chemical in here. So this is another reason why I don't recommend you use baby wipes to clean your stamp pads, because we are so unsure of the chemical reaction of what's in a baby wipe with the ink pad. So we only ever recommend water and our Stampin' Up cleaner to clean your stamps, because whatever you clean your stamps in, if it's a harsh chemical and then you're putting your stamps on your ink pad, we don't know what's happening. Anyway, so that was probably my fault, that one. So yeah, I'm going to put that aside to remind me to put that on my wish list for next month's shopping. So there we go. Cheryl has some pads like that as well. Oh dear, Cheryl. Yeah, I mean, I do have some that have gone a bit of a funny colour, but those are, you can just wash them out and restart. But disintegrating like that is not, yeah, I wouldn't say that's a normal Stampin' Up thing to happen at all. Right, there we go. Have I stuck that on correctly? Yes, I think I have. Right, ooh, what sentiment should we pop on there? I think just a little, cute little one. Just because. I think just because is a really nice thing. Just, just because you just wanted to send someone a card. It's the weekend. Yay. So I'm just trying to think what I could cut that out with. I'll stamp it and then I'll think. He wants to make one now. Go for it, Frankie. Yeah, and the beauty is you don't have to have these exact pieces of paper. You can make them in with whatever paper you've got. You could even cut out bits from a magazine if you want, or a catalogue, or wallpaper samples, whatever. Or whatever your grandma will give you. I think us crafters tend to have little boxes of, yeah, you can play with that stuff. Stuff that I don't want to play with anymore. Yeah, you can play with that. Come on, own up to it, grandmas. Grandmas, aunties, mummies, uncles, granddads. I think we all have boxes of stuff that we go, that's for the children's. Good plan, KB. Yes, I wonder if maybe got a bit of alcohol on it, to be honest. Because when I get into the throes of kind of crafting, I'm a bit lazy, a bit naughty sometimes. Right, I'm going to pop some of them. Oh, I've just thought, where's that puffy paint that I bought? That funny puffy stuff. That was freaky. Right, I'm just going to put a couple of blocks. Oh! Right, suggestions, please, people. I'm going to try scoop it up. Oh, that's not too bad. Oh, now I've just made it look worse. Because I have ink on my hand. Just keep rubbing. We're just going to smear some in the other corner to make it make it look like it was meant to be. There we go. Just vintage the whole thing up now. Okay, Ruth, calm down. Right, let's do a little squeeze. Oh, you know what? You know why? Look what it is. It's that evil stuff. Right, this is what I wanted, the pearlized enamel. I was wondering why it came out so thick. Oh, sorry, so thinly and so fast. It's because it's not this. Right, okay, start again. After me saying, where's my puffball paint? It was in my hand the whole time. Oh well, I hope that gave you a giggle, everybody. Remove the sentiment. I could do, you know. I could. Do you think it looks too bad? Or do you think it's all right? Just looks vintaged. Just looks a bit vintaged. And you know what else I could do? If I do a bit of dottage, some splattage, it'll be fine. As long as you don't tell anybody. Don't tell anyone, will you? See, look. A bit of dottage. There we go. So this is another little tip. How to create a little bit of splattage with your pen. Just the brush tip. You just flick it. There we go. That's all right. Good idea though, Ali. Yeah, I take that one on board. I love it because you guys just sort of give some extra tips along the way. I come out with mine and then you come out with yours. It's brilliant. I know I don't always follow yours, but it doesn't mean that they're not good tips. It just means I decided to do something else. Right, I'm going to pop that card over there because that needs to dry. And I'm actually going to add a bit of dottage, splattage to this now because they look a bit bare. My only fear is that somebody looks at this card on the stall and goes, she dropped ink on it. I guess not. I don't know. Do you think some people don't appreciate dottage? They'll be like, what's she doing? Right. Jodie, you do it away from you. Yes, don't worry. Look, you get it like that and you pop it in the pen like that and you flick away. If you're flicking towards you, then yes, you would get it all over your clothing and possibly your face. But no, away from you is fine. Trust me, I'm a Stampin' Up demonstrator. Right. Is the paper with lemons current? It is, Janine. Yes, I will go over all the paper now with you guys because I've ended up using quite a few bits of DSP, which I don't normally do. I know that I'm kind of known for stamping my own, but I do like using it occasionally. So this flies in the face of any stories that you might have heard about me that I don't like DSP. I don't think you have, but yes, no, I love teaming up DSP with my own stamped paper. Okay, I will bring the other one back on. I've just got to be careful because I put that stuff on it. Right, so there they are. So 5 different cards using the same kind of template, and I will go back and show you the ones that I got from my swaps. Just looking for my catalogue, which was here somewhere. If I put it out the way. No, did I? No. Ooh. Right, just go grab another one. Every time a new catalogue comes out, I claim one catalogue to be my catalogue, and I put a plastic cover on it. And then I go through the whole catalogue and I mark every item that I already own, so that hopefully I don't buy double. But for some reason, I've mislaid it, which is a bit annoying, really. But anyway, right, let's go through products I've used tonight then, guys. So let's start with the paper that I stamped myself. As I mentioned at the beginning, the In Symmetry stamp set has now retired, which is what I used to create these lovely flowers in the background. However, we have plenty of gorgeous floral stamps that you could purchase instead. All right, there's loads in here. Look, that one, it would be a good one. This one here, Simply Fabulous. I have this one, it's lovely. Right, so that's what I used to stamp the background. I will try and find the video and put a link of this one in the description. So if I don't do it, please remind me. Okay, or if you find it, please let me know. Then I used the Butterfly Brilliance stamp set, which, like all stamp sets, I say until you get some colour on it, you never really know the full potential of a stamp until you've properly inked it up in some colour or coloured it in. So this is how it's depicted in the catalogue. It's tiny, okay, absolutely tiny, but it has the most beautiful, very detailed butterflies and are great for colouring in. So I think I stamped these in either Night of Navy or some other kind of dark blue, and then coloured them in with a pale blue alcohol pen. So that's how I made that. So let's set that aside a second. So let's just go back to the templates then. So I was using this particular card as a bit of inspiration, and also I wanted to highlight how a lot of cards follow the same format, and they're just such a simple idea and template for creating a variety of different styles and sort of feels to cards. So you've got that one which is all blue, you know, blue and purple, this one which is Christmassy, this one which is another Christmas one, which I didn't show you how to do this, but basically you create a 10-fold card and you cut twice and stick down these 2 sections, and then you just end up with a very interesting sort of fancy fold. But that again is following that format, 3 columns. Then this one here is 3 columns, but with a wider piece of DSP there and some stamped imagery and sentiment. And then this one again is 3 columns, but of varying sizes and with extra detail. So as I said earlier, if you're new to card making, if you want to start with a really simple layout, play with that a few times, then keep building on it and experimenting. So I will show you how we developed these. So I cut out 3 strips of that really pretty stamp paper that I did, then went through my DSP and chose papers that matched the colours of what I was using. And this is what Stampin' Up is really known for, colour and quality and coordination, as my friend Jodie in America used to say, quality and coordination. So whatever colours are used in here, I try to pick out. So we've got that lovely, the golden yellow, this lovely blue, a little bit of the lilac there, fresh freesia, And then here I've got the green, and it just so happened that I think the back of this paper was this very colourful, and I just thought that that sat really nicely because we've got this dark blue here and then the dark blue there and then the pink and the pink and the green and the green and the yellow and the yellow. It just seemed to work, and then have that connector strip in the middle. But this time, instead of stamping on the more plainer areas, I decided to stamp and cut up the sentiment and use it in a horizontal way rather than, you know, as it was stamped. All right, so that's how we kind of stepped up from that point to that point. And then the fourth card, it's very similar, but I decided to use the DSP with the pots on it, cut it down and actually stick this onto a piece of gold backing and then raise it up a little bit. So exactly same format, but did something a little bit different. Then the final one with the lemons on it. Sorry, I just knocked one of my little balls there. This one, again, similar idea, but put it through the embossing folder with a little bit of crumb cake on it, just to enhance that lovely wood grain, and then added some ink around the edges to make it look a bit more vintage. Then added my sentiment and those little pearlized drops there from the Pearlized Enamel Effects Basics White. Sorry, I just find that so long to say, but anyway, it comes in a pack of 3. You get white, black and red, and these are really great for inexpensive kind of embellishing. You know, that bottle is going to last me a long time, or these bottles I should say. So there we go, that's available in the mini catalogue. So that's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Well, those are kind of together. Right, thank you guys. What can I say? Dottage is the grand finale of most cards. Absolutely. Yeah. Dottage saves all, and it's pretty too. Yes. Non-card makers don't get dottage. No, because non-card makers don't understand the pain of when we drop an ink pad, get a bit of a smudge. What else did I do? Use the wrong product. Cut a piece of paper a bit too small, cut a piece of paper a bit too big. What other problems do we have, guys? I should do a whole video about the problems and how to maybe get over them. Oh my goodness. The trials, the tribulations of card making. The paper cuts, the blood, the sweat, the tears. I'm in the mood to go and cut up my DSP now. Yes, good. Good. Yes, fingerprints. For those of you who've had pets, you probably get paw prints. Hairs caught in the glue. Thanks, Janine. Yeah. I have, for those of you who like categorization, I've recently created 2 new playlists on my channel because I realised I didn't have a playlist to put swap videos. So I've only got one in there so far, but I will pop another one. And it reminded me that I actually have a swap video on a different channel. From leftover from the days where all I could do was like hold my phone in my hand and just go, here you go, here are the swaps. And it's rather wobbly, but I thought I might download it and pop it on my current channel, this channel, because it's a really nice kind of like look back at products from about 10 years ago. The quality won't be great, but I thought it might be quite fun. Glue gun burns, oh yes. The burns, the cuts, the little pricks we get from tools. Oh, I tell you what the most painful thing is. Punch pinches. Punch pinches. Oh my goodness. Who has felt a punch pinch? Yeah? You come on, ladies, you know what I'm talking about. When you go to punch a piece of paper and you pop it in and you're so focused on punching that piece of paper, you don't realise that a piece of your stomach has got caught inside the punch. Yes. Come on. Who's done it? Hands up, please. All right, look, that's a great idea for a video. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go over to Artful Stampin Space, my Facebook group for all you groupies. I'm going to call you my groupies now. My Ruthettes, my Artful Stampers, whatever you want to call yourselves, you know, you're just my friends. We're going to go and pop a post up. So the link to my Facebook group is in the description below. And so what I need you to do is I'm going to go over there now and I'm going to ask what crafting disasters would you like tips to come back from? Yeah. And so can you go and respond over there? And so if somebody has put something that you already, you know, that you were going to put, rather than typing it out again, can you give them a thumbs up? So if someone puts, I don't know, ink smudge, just don't type it again, just do a thumbs up. All right. Oh yes, stalkers. Yes, I have stalkers, I have groupies, I have dotage fanatics. What else are you called? Spilt coffee. Yeah, bloopers. That's a good word. Yeah, it doesn't sound so catastrophic. Right, my lovelies. Hi, Lorraine. Just saw you. I've been bitten by a punch many a time, says Janice. Oh, and Lorraine. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, and also sometimes when you're not concentrating, this bit of your hand, this is probably the only tool that I tend to give warnings about when I do classes. Yeah. No mistakes, creative opportunities. Or the butterfly opportunities, we like to call them, don't we? Yeah. Crafting missteps. Oh, you're so polite, Mary. Yes, a crafting misstep. A blooper video would be handy. Okay. Janine, pouring coffee on your cards is a waste of good coffee. Oh, guys, I went to, I'm not going to name the store, but there's a coffee shop that I go to in Marshpool. And the girls there know me well enough and knew that I was in New Orleans. And they were like, oh, how was your trip? So, hold on, let me just flip my camera around. So I said, oh, I bought some coffee back from New Orleans. I bought some from Cafe du Monde, and it's the coffee with the chicory in it. And I said, oh, if I bought some, I said, could you put them through your machine and make me a coffee? And she was like, oh, yes. So, because it's great, it's already ground. So I'm going to do that at some point. I'm going to take in the coffee to be used in a proper coffee machine, because I don't have a proper coffee machine at home. So there we go. How about putting card front on, back, or upside down? Yes, I have covered that before. I saw a trick that France Martin did with dental floss to get it off. Yeah, but there's a couple of solutions to that one, so we'll cover them all. Yeah, that's where you catch yourself on your hand. Ah, Marilyn, how about, yes, yeah. Oh, I've seen people on YouTube do it, and it's you know what, it's great. We like to keep it real for you, because you know it's part of the journey, part of you know, card making. All right, lovelies, thank you so much for hanging out with me and supporting my channel as always. You guys are awesome. A final call for wreath class on Tuesday. Those of you who watch the BBC programme Miranda will understand what I mean by that, or understand the joke. So Tuesday we have at 7 p.m. my time. Probably got a couple of spaces, not loads, and there's people I've sent invoices to, Janine, who haven't paid yet. Setting your card in a sunny window can loosen the tape. Good idea, Jodie. Yes, and a bit of heat tool. I'm using my heat tool for more uses nowadays than just embossing. Whenever I get, I don't know, something from the shops and it's got a real sticky thing on it, a little bit of heat tool takes it right off. When put on back, I send to left-handed friend. Ah, fantastic. Love it. Great idea. Yes, so let me just check people I've sent invoices to who may be on here and don't realise, haven't checked their inboxes. Actually, no, I'm not going to read out names. No worries, Janine. I can say Janine because she's on here. I'm not going to name any other names. But if you told me you wanted to come and you're wondering where the invoice is, check your inbox. If it's not there, email me. Someone emailed me today to say, I haven't had the invoice. I sent it to the wrong person. Two people with the same name. I got muddled up. So I'm sorry if you got an email from me and you wondered what it was about. It was me invoicing the wrong person. Thank you, Cindy. Thank you. I had definitely had stamping withdrawal symptoms. Yeah, it got towards the end of last week. I was like, I haven't stamped for a whole week. I did make 2 cards though. I made a card for Bonnie and also I made another card that is still in the box. So what am I missing? Barb, I'm doing a wreath class on Tuesday, but you've already done the wreath class, so you probably don't need to do it again. But you're welcome to do it if you want to. So advance notice. Advance notice. I'm doing an emboss resist class on the 4th of October. So if anybody is interested in doing that, that's the one where I think you guys have seen me do the roses, the white roses. We cover that technique. So I have got spaces for that one. I'll show you. I'll get my class folder out to show you what that looks like. Just flip the camera. Okay, so if you want to learn how to do this technique, now just advance warning, we will not do a whole sheet, we will do a half sheet because it's so detailed and labour intensive. So we will just do a half sheet, but you will learn the technique so that you can go away and do as many as you want afterwards. So we do a technique where you stamp and do some sponging if you want to in the background. You can go away and do this one. We don't actually it's a bit more complicated than this one. But so you need, for that class, you need to have a variety of solid imagery stamps. Okay, this is what I mean by solid. Do check them though, because some of the stamps that look solid are actually slightly textured and that can be a bit tricky. So you do need a very solid image stamp and some detail stamps for this one. So that's one half of the class, and the second half, if you really want to make this, then you do need to have artistically inked. Yeah, they look like fried eggs. Yes, they do a bit, don't they? That one does. Yeah, it's because it's got the yellow. So if you've got artistically inked, you'll be able to do this specific rose. If you have Beautiful Friendship from a few years ago, you may be able to do it. I haven't tried it out, but I do recommend if you want your results to look a little bit like mine, then you do need artistically inked. Did I just say that right? Hold on, let me just see. The other thing is, being away from my desk for a week, I start to forget stuff. Yeah, artistically inked. I start to sort of second guess myself. Right. Right, is there anything else? Any other questions? Because I'm going. I've been on here for an hour and a half. Wow. Right. Great. What's Nessa laughing at? Are we going to play the Ruth do the emoji game? Glenna's. Oh dear. This was a game we used to play on Periscope, which was a streaming app from a few years ago. We used to do Ruth make the emoji face. Right, I better go before it all starts to deteriorate and we end up in fits of laughter on the floor. Not that there's anything wrong in that. I think it's good to laugh every day. Everyone should laugh every day. Right, now I can't see any comments. I know, say goodbye so hard, I know. It's like when I used to say goodbye to my... Actually, Janice saw this when we were in New Orleans, when Tom and I were chatting on the phone. We have this like running joke that we go, you put the phone down. No, you put the phone down. No, you put the phone down. No, you put the phone down. So with me, it's like, oh, just press the button. No, you press the button. You end the live stream. Oh, hi, Anne. Yes, I did. Yeah. Bye, Bob. Right, I am going now. Lots of love. You guys are awesome. Thank you so much.